Oh man, that's a what?
Mm. It's a bit crazy move, but it sort of makes sense, I guess, because against the Panda, you really want to drain that mana, and there's a couple ways you can do that. Breakers are obviously one choice, but Blood Mage is another, and you can just drain so much mana um, off that Panda, you can really do a lot of damage to it, and or sorry, you can just really reduce its damage output so much, so that might actually be an interesting play. And you can see Yaws has actually gone for a whole bunch of, or sort of two Maulers at this point, and I think that just because of the Panda, because obviously area of effect much less important when, or much less useful against sort of a couple high hit point units. What do you think about all this, or what about Yaws' sort of mass Merc units which he's gone for here?
I think. Oh man, I think the human has to play some delay tactic before their casters in the motor team gets online. But the human just got creep jack at the 12 o'clock, and the panda just hit level 5. And there's no second hero. I don't think there's no second hero in sight yet, and so we're gonna see a panda maybe can try to do a split. Chumpesque, have you ever used a split panda yet?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
In a
mean, of
ladder game?
course. Yeah. Of course. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it ends the game pretty quickly. I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
it's such a versatile thing. I mean, you can use it to tank damage, to do damage, to focus down one hero. You have Cyclone, you have Windwalk. You know, it's just and you have Taunt. I mean, you have everything really in there at once. And it's just so much fun to use. It completely changes the dynamic of the game. Your opponent really gets to sort of change up what units they're going for, and just to be prepared for this eventuality. And I think perhaps the Blood Mage actually helped there. Uh, an anti-magic potion actually being used by that panda really early on. I guess just to avoid that second mana. What do you think about that?
Man, I think it's try to get conserve some mana on the panda, but I personally would spend the money on the mana potion instead of the anti magic potion because it's cheaper.
Yes, it certainly it is, but it also avoids things like slow as well. And if you want to
Oh,
get good positioning on your panda, because obviously you want to get the best sort of position for your breath of fire. Perhaps that's why he chose to do that rather than just get his just buy another mana potion.
yeah, you're right. Maybe it is better that way, and looks like a facing took down one arcane second good, and
Yeah, it's a very nice counter to that panda as well as the spares actually. It's going to really make it very hard to for the panda to sustain attack, but MTv getting pretty close to level 6 on his panda. That's going to be very bad for y'all to be able to keep this up.
yeah. Do you know what? Personally, I think the worst ability that level 6 panda can have after it splits is a cyclone. It just completely neutralizes one of your unit, and there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, if you try to chase a wind elemental, the wind element after it splits, it's gonna wind walk and continue to cast,
Yeah,
continue to cast the cyclone. It just, of course, the earth can taunt, which means if you face a taunt, you have to assign your units assign your units priorities, like
yeah,
to shift click all your priorities. It's just a pain in the ass. And
yeah. But
what?
certainly a really annoying thing is when your opponent gets a level 6 panda and sort of they are immediately able to use that ability, you just have to immediately change up how you're playing. You immediately have to sort of bear in mind that anything could be cycloned at any point, and that sort of you just it's just so hard to play against because you have to completely change your control groups and everything just to be able to avoid these things. If you want to focus them down, then I guess you can try. Obviously, you're pretty much never going to kill all three, but if you actually kill one, they give a whole lot of experience, and it
Did,
is sorry, go ahead.
did you see that Chimera Roost?
Yes, yeah, there are actually chimeras going up here. Um, I'm not sure whether or not that's the best play, to be honest. I mean,
Uh,
I'm sure it's going to surprise Yaws, but he's only built one. Obviously, he only has the economy to build one Chimeras at this point, and so it's going to take him a while before he can actually build up a significant force of Chimeras, which is sort of a pretty odd decision, I think. And looks like Yaws is now retraining his Archmage to Blizzard as well. I guess he's going to be playing a bit defensively at this point. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think that's no. Maybe he's using the Archmage to harass. Looks like the Archmage is going to
I, I
all the
think he
way.
might just be shopping actually, buying heal
Oh,
scrolls. Because obviously heal scrolls against that panda just be so important. You can just really do you can really negate a lot of its effects early game.
he
or early
see.
battle.
I think that human just saw the Chimera came across the shop.
Yeah, well, certainly he had the capacity to see it. I'm not whether or not he actually saw it. I think it will depend on how lucky he was and how good his reactions are. But obviously, if a Griffin aviary goes up immediately, then he definitely did see it. But I'm not seeing a Griffin aviary or um no
Or
or any
or some riflemen being pumped up. Yeah, no.
yeah. I mean also sort of sorry, flying machines would be very good as well. But we're not seeing those, so perhaps I mean certainly he will have scouted it now. Like Chimera just went straight into the base. So, what do
Uh,
you think?
oh man, look, do you see that? Do you see that flame strike plus blizzard?
Yeah, certainly it's very effective. I mean, before this game, actually, we were talking about one game which I had seen where it was Lucifron was just being destroyed by Roshan Rock, who had gone uh, this combination of area effect, and I think it's sort of becoming more popular these days because you can push your opponent into a rage like position. Now, what do you
Yeah.
think about the micro in this battle here? Satiini not saving too many bears, is it?
Oh man, I think the Nato is fighting a wrong battle, because because he's fighting against the human in his their own base, and the human can have a militia, and of course the flying machines are out, and
Mm-hmm.
even though the panda split, I think that Nato lost like 4 bears right there. Um, oh
Yes,
man.
yeah. Certainly, we'll have to see how much damage to the economy can actually be done by Santini now before Yaws can regroup. But I think Yaws is actually going to be counter-attacking with the expansion here.
Yeah,
Obviously,
no,
he'll be.
it's going to be a base trade. It looks like the Dinos are going to puss out and try to defend his expansion.
Yeah, Santini
um,
getting his Panda back now, and one of the brilliant things about this is that he's now regained a whole bunch of mana and health in the process. So some really nice play there by Santini actually. Um, Actually keeping his that's a bit odd. He keeping his Panda back despite walking the rest of his units back. So it's a bit of a mistake there, don't you think?
yeah, it is a waste of TP. I'm not gonna lie to you, because the humans saw the TP and micro all the fly machines away, and of course all the casters away, leaving only the spell breakers to feed back the panda.
Yeah.
So I really think that that's a waste of TP, and of course the that fairy dragon is gonna be a dead meat right there. Yeah, and oh man, this is looking really bad for the night elf. What do you think?
Oh yeah, obviously that Wilson second hand is a sort of adds a pretty interesting component to it. And if you did look at a bit of economic damage, from which Ross is just still trying to recover, but apart from that he doesn't really have too much of an army left. He has a couple of chimeras, a couple of dryads, but it's pretty ragtag at this moment. There's no real cohesion to it in the sense that that sort of Yaws could have, where he has some breakers for tanking, some sorts for slowing and visibling, you know. He has a bit of more cohesion, I think. And sorry, go ahead.
Oh man, I just think myself. I was just thinking to myself, like going chimeras against humans is a really bad choice, especially when they have every counter to the world to counter mass air. You know what I'm talking about? Like tanks, flare. I'm sorry, not mirage, and then multi-shot or whatever you call it. Barrage,
Yeah,
also
the
barrage,
flat cannon. Yeah,
barrage
yeah, yeah.
from the siege engines, and flank cannon from the fly machines, riflemen, and Dragonhawk. Are you kidding me? Why you go for air against human? I never understood that.
I think it's certainly lots of the reason you go for it is just because you can get the element of surprise. You can really catch your opponent off guard if they're not paying
Uh,
attention. That's why you can generally go for 2 or 3 chimera roosts at once. Whereas in solid strategy from Santini seems to just be a really high damage output initially and hope that that sort of overwhelms your opponent.
yeah.
I'm so terribly sorry. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Alright, I'm going to take over from here. And it looks like the Night Elves are going to push her in the 8 o'clock, and the human expansion humans going to try to hide all the fly machines back in the base. And it looks like the Night Elves are going to turn around and face to a human's main. And human has got nothing in the main, not even a tower. It looks like all the peasants are going to be dead meat to the Night Elves at this point. Are you back? Apparently not, and looks like the Chumpesque girlfriends they keep harassing him for not giving her a Valentine's present. Pray God he doesn't hear this, but but looks like the panda is going to back away, waiting for more bears to rendezvous with his army.